Hey guys, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have been enjoying our music lessons thus far. Today we are on our third nearpod music lesson. So if you're just so happen to just start following along today, you're going to want to watch or follow along with the nearpod slowly on your own as you catch up to where we are today. If you have been following along, you should be, let's see here, you should be on slide. Um, we'll just say you are on the slide that says think pair share. I'm not sure which number that is. I'm not sure if there's a way for me to tell right now, but you should be on the one that says think pair share where we just left off when we did our Ram Sam Sam song. Okay, so if you did move along or if you are moving along in the ear pod, get ready to click forward. Again, if you were just watching on YouTube, that's okay. Just follow along and listen to me as I go. But ideally, you will be watching Nearpod as this happens. All right. I'm going to turn my timer on here, so I'll make sure I'm on time. Here we go. All right. So, open-ended question. Remember our Ram Sam Sam, Ram Sam Sam, Ram Sam Sam, gimme, 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 Ram Sam Sam, Ram Sam Sam, Ram Sam Sam, Ram Sam Sam, Ravi, Ravi, gimme, 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 Ram Sam Sam, Ravi, Ravi, gimme, 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 Ram Sam Sam. All right. Were the notes in a Ram Sam Sam all the same length? All right, here's our question. I'm reading it now as we go. Were the notes in a Ram Sam Sam all the same length? Compare the rhythm in a Ram Sam Sam section to the Aravi section. Okay, so when they're asking were the notes in Ram Sam Sam all the same length, was it all a bunch of quarter notes? Ram Sam 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 Ram Sam 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 Sam. I don't think that's what it was. Remember, we had a Ram Sam Sam, a Ram Sam Sam, Rumi 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 Ram Sam Sam. Sounds like Rumi is a lot faster than Ram Sam Sam. They even want you to compare it to the Rafi section. So Ravi, Rumi 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 Ram Sam Sam. So we're comparing those three sections or those two sections. We know that a Ram Sam Sam is going a lot faster than Ravi, Ravi. So the answer, were the notes in a Ram Sam Sam all the same length? Go ahead and type your answer in now. I'm going to say no. Remember, Mr. Isaac messed up in the last one. I hope he's not messing up right now. No, they were not the same length. Submit. Awesome. Moving on to our next slide in Nearpod. Let's dig deeper. Okay, so we're going to dig a little deeper into rhythmic value. We're going to do a little bit of what we did in our last video again here right now. Rhythms are written as music notes. Our quarter notes, our half notes, our eighth notes. And you can change the way rhythms sound by changing the notes. Different notes have different values, which means some notes make longer sounds while others make shorter sounds. And remember, we did a little bit of this in our last video when we learned our whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes. Now we're going to start with whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes again, and I'm just going to explain. And here's just a visual of exactly what each note represents here. Okay, so our first note, our whole note, remember it's a whole, it's like a whole circle is a good way to remember it. And it has 4 beats. All right. So each measure in music, most measures in music, I kind of talked about this when we were doing Chrome Music Lab. Most measures in music equal 4 beats. Okay. So when you have 4 beats, that equals 1 measure. And, you know, any song you have could be made up of, 50 measures or 100 measures or, 600 measures. But in each of those measures, there's 4 beats. All right. So let's just do some quick math here. If there's 50 measures and each measure has 4 beats, this is just a hard question. You can pull up your calculator if you want. How many beats would be in that song? So 50 times 4, it's a big number. If you did type it in, it'll be 200. So in the whole song, there's 200 beats. So although there's only 50 measures, each measure has 4. That means in the entire song, there's 200 total beats. All right. And that's just me trying to add a little math into our curriculum here. All right. Our next note, and sorry, we count that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we count a whole note. All right. Half note. Remember, half note is half of a whole note. So half of 4 is 2. So that's how many beats a half note gets. 1, 2. All right. Quarter note, 1 beat. So half of a half note is a quarter. All right. 1 beat, 1. That's how we say it. And then eighth note, half of a half beat. Or sorry, half of a quarter beat. And 2 of these equals 1 beat. So half plus half is a whole. 1 half beat plus 1 half beat is a quarter note. It's confusing sometimes because half plus a half is a whole, and then half of a beat plus a half of a beat equals a quarter note. Little tricky sometimes, but the visual definitely helps. And when we say eighth notes right now, we're saying one and. All right, we used to say TT. Now we're counting them with numbers. We're saying one and. All right, one and. For quarter notes, we say 1. For half notes, we say 1, 2. For whole note, we say 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We're going to go along with me here. First, listen to your teacher clap and count the rhythms, and try and clap and count the rhythms as a class. How we're going to do this, I'm going to clap and count the top line. You're going to clap and count the top line after me. Then I'm going to go to the second line. You're going to go after me. I'm going to go to the third line. You're going to go after me. Fourth line, you're going to go after me. All right. And I'm going to go with you each time as well. All right, so I'm going to go first, and you're going to go with me after that. I'll make it very clear. All right, here's our first line with the whole note. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn. With me, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Second line, my turn, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job. My turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn. Third line. 1, 2, 3, 4. My turn. Last line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And finally, your turn. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. All right. And I'm trying to make sure that we're going through this with a steady beat so that I can continue to ingrain with you that steady beat. It is much better for you to follow along on the nearpod, but with this YouTube lesson, that's the best way to hear me is while watching YouTube as well. Okay, so there's definitely got to be a mix of both. All right, nice job on that. We're going to move on. So our next one, we have a video. This is the most important part right here when we're dealing with nearpod, so you can watch the video without any lag time. All right. So if you want to pause right now and skip ahead eventually, or watch me, or do whatever you need to do to make sure that you're watching this video the best quality you can, make sure you have nearpod link opened up so that you can hear the music a lot better. All right. I'm going to press play on this, and we're going to follow along to this video. Here we go. What we're going to do, I want you to clap and sing these notes. So clap and sing the notes. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2. I'm going to stop counting now. If you need to stop counting, go ahead. It's a lot harder to count and sing that. We're going to go back, actually. So if you don't mind going back right now on your own video, I'm going to do this one time through with me clapping it. So you're going to clap it as well, and then I'm going to do one time through with me just singing it, all right? Because this is kind of tricky and fast. Just clapping this time, guys. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to do this one more time. You guys can watch it one more time with me, and I'm just going to sing it this time. I'm going to just say it, not going to clap, all right? This one's a little bit harder. To count is a little bit harder than just to clap, all right? Here we go. One and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 1. Nice job. So it is hard to count through that. If you can try your best until you get that perfectly, I would love to see. I would love for you all to try and try and try again until you get that perfect. We did do that 3 times, so that is a lot. I'm going to move on now. But clapping and singing that is a challenge because it is a little faster of a song. But I know you guys are up to that challenge. All right. Next slide. If you're moving along in nearpod, if you're not, go ahead and follow along in the YouTube video. So we are on to a draw it section. Now, if you haven't used Drawn It in YouTube, it is kind of hard to use your mouse pad. If you have a mouse, it's much easier for you. I have a mouse pad right now, so I'm just going to be with you guys here. But we're going to use our drawing tool. So get ready to draw. With your drawing tool, fill the missing note that would make the pattern sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to read this one more time, and then I'm going to move this up. With your drawing tool, which is your mouse, fill in the missing note that would make the rhythm pattern sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, so we have up here, we know that eighth notes are the ones that have the word and in it. So that's a good hint for our answer here. We have eighth note, space, quarter note. Now, we know that a quarter note equals 1 beat. And we know that an eighth note equals 1 beat if there are 2 of them put together. All right. So we're going to just write 1. And then for my and, I'm going to just put plus. So it's easy to do. Plus. So 1 and 2 and what we're looking for is, if you remember in the answer, 3 and, right? We're looking for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, so we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 will be our last note. All right, so we're looking to fill here. So I think it might be easy for you now that we've written it out, but I'm just going to go just a little bit, just show you what's going on here. 1 and is one of ours, right? 2 and is another one, and those both look the same. So if we have 3 and, what do you think that 3 and is going to look like? I'm going to give you a second to think on your own. It should look exactly like the ones next to it. Do your best to try and write this very nicely. It is hard to do with the mouse. I always say, take your time. A lot of people say Mr. Isaac moves very slow. I think that is because I just like to make sure that things are going smoothly. All right, and the smoother you are, the more time you take, the nicer things can be. That might have been the nicest eighth note I've ever written on a computer screen. Okay, so if you have something like this, or if you already had something like this, you got the correct answer. If not, go back, reevaluate why you think you didn't get that right answer. And it should be pretty simple, this drawing here. But if not, you can always go back to the rhythm cards that we explained a little bit earlier and give yourself a better visual of what an eighth note sounds like and is written out like with numbers. Okay, got one more slide here. We're going to submit this. Let me see. Yep. So here's your answer. We got, as I just read, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right. If you have that, you are correct. Moving along, please follow along if you can in the slide. What do we got here? With your drawing tool, connect each note to its value. I'm going to read that one more time. With your drawing tool, connect each note to its value. All right, so here I'll give you a couple seconds to do it without me giving you the answer. We have on top the whole note, as you know, the half note, as you know, the quarter note, as you've been told, and the eighth note, as we are continuing to master. All right. So right off the top, I see a half note. I'm going to just go with this one first. I'm going to go, here we go. And I know it's 4 beats because it is the biggest. So I'm just going to make a line. It's easy. It's not hard at all. All right. Our second one is a half note. We know it's half of a whole note. And we know 2 is half of 4. So we're going to just draw a line right there. Half note to 2 beats. All right. We have our half beat here. 2 notes equals 1 beat. And we know that our eighth note is a tricky guy. So, of course, it has to have the trickiest answer. So we're just going to go ahead and draw that half beat over there to the eighth note because that is where it belongs. All right. And our last one, the last line we need to make is our quarter note to our 1 beat. Hope you guys have figured this out by now. I hope it's that simple. I know it's a challenge to do this through a screen, but I do think this is a great tool we're using right now and a lot of growth coming from this. I'm very, very certain of that. Okay. Submit your answer when you have done and see how you did. Looks like we got everything right. Looks exactly like Mr. Isaac just drew it. I know you guys probably got it better than I did and quicker than I could have. Let's try one thing together. I think we're almost done with our lesson today. We're going to keep pushing on. All right, this is our last thing we're going to do. We are going to play a game called Perform That Rhythm. On the next slides, there will be different music notes next to each other. Count and clap out the different notes to perform the rhythms you see. So how this is going to work, I'm going to put a slide up, and I'm going to give you 15 seconds. I got my timer going. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to answer without me giving you the answer, and then we're going to move on. Here is slide number 2. 15 seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, figured out. Five more seconds. Just practice and practice. Here we go. We're going to do it together with the class. I'm going to give you the answer. We're moving on. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. If you got that right, nice job. Moving on to the next slide. 15 seconds. Perform it on your own. You got this. Go. Three seconds. Here we go with Mr. Isaac. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Nice job. Our last one. Form that rhythm. The last one. Ooh. Sorry about that. Skip forward. The last one. Form that rhythm. 15 seconds. Go ahead. 4 seconds. Here we go. With Mr. Isaac. 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome job, you guys. All right. We're going to do one open-ended question. Go ahead and click forward on the nearpod, and then this will be the wrap-up to our lesson. Our open-ended question of the day: how many beats were in each rhythm, and how do you know? So I'm going to talk with you through this real quick. How many beats were in each rhythm, and how do you know? So when we counted and clap, we always ended on what number? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we stopped. So, how how many beats were in each rhythm? So there was a different amount of notes, right? We had 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That was 6 notes. But what do we actually count to? One and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. We actually counted to the number 4. So how many beats were in each rhythm? 4 beats in each rhythm. How do I know? The last number we counted to was 4. If you answer something like that, awesome job. You guys have been following along excellently. I'm sure you are mastering this as much and if not more as you did last year. Okay. This is the end of our lesson. Tomorrow's lesson, we will continue on with this nearpod and maybe get some Chrome Music Lab time in. If not, we will get to that next week. Mr. Isaac wants you to remember these 3 things always. You are kind, you are smart, you are important. And I look forward to the day that I see you again. Have an awesome day, you guys.